Hello. In my first video I tried to give a brief description of the way I define romanticism and my personal, special kind of romanticism. And you can find the link to this video in the description. And I'm also recording these two videos back to back, so they are closely interlinked. And in this video I would like to describe myself in a bit more detail, my particular romantic sensibility. But as I already said in the last video, I apologize for the poor and amateurish quality of my videos, and that I am dependent on my script, because without it I'm just lost. So sorry for that. Alright, so as I said in the other video, for me romanticism is not limited to the contemporary understanding of the term. I associate with it much more than just the love between a man and a woman. My understanding of romanticism is based on the romantic art and literary movement of the late 18th and early 19th century. Romanticism is my truth. As I already said in the other video, I can't help it. I am a romantic through and through. I'm born a romantic. As I said, you either are born a romantic or you're not. It's not a choice. Romanticism is at the core of my being. I cannot exist without this romantic attitude towards life. And without this feeling, life for me is meaningless, is empty, is unbearable. Because, as I already explained in the other video, romanticism for me represents a life force. I would even go as far as saying that it's life itself. So romanticism for me is the epitome of both my existence and of existence as such. And for too long I have hidden this romantic side of myself. I was afraid. I always felt it's not appreciated. I always felt awkward and judged somehow. But I'm determined to live it more freely and openly now, and this channel and these videos, they are the first decisive step that I'm taking now in this direction. So you can say this is my big romantic coming out, yeah, all I intend to do is to find a place for my true self. If I can't be myself in everyday life, then at least I want to be myself as much as possible here, in this little corner of YouTube. My corner. This is my little corner. And I have to say, I don't understand how so many people can turn away from the romantic idealism of their youth. Why is romantic idealism usually seen as nothing more than just a phase you go through as a youth in puberty or something? Why does it so often lack permanence? Seen in this light, in fact, it's a blessing actually that so many romantics died young, because that way at least they were unable to betray their convictions, their romantic convictions. I seem to be one of the few exceptions. I don't know why, but my romantic idealism has remained unchanged. And I refuse to see romantic idealism as nothing more than just a youthful folly. That is a very unworthy way to look at it. It's unjust. My romantic attitude to life is characterized by a deep, strong longing for love, for union, for salvation in a way, salvation of my soul, salvation from this drab, banal reality. the longing for the transcendent, for the beautiful, for the sublime. Those shining ideals that all too often seem like distant stars to me in this life. Far, far away, far removed from my everyday reality. I find physical, material reality insufficient, lacking in a way. For the most part, deeply unaesthetic, especially the modern world, and also a horror, an existential horror, and a prison for the soul, and always a pale imitation, a pale shadow of the ideal reality as I perceive it in my dreams. I am deeply disappointed in people and in the world, I have to say. Not all of them, of course. I mean, people like you who are watching this video, they seem to be of a different breed, of a different kind. But, you know, in general, it's a generalization, but you get the point. In general, I am far too often, unfortunately, disappointed in my fellow human beings and also in life itself, actually. I have a strong yearning for romanticizing life. I want to aestheticize and to poeticize it. I want to turn it into a wonderful poem, a myth, a beautiful work of art. And I also wish that people were beautiful, graceful, noble beings. I personally pursue the ideal of the beautiful soul, a concept I also would like to talk about a bit more in other videos. And I wish that both I and my fellow human beings could live up to this ideal of the beautiful soul. I mean, I'm not saying that I am capable of personifying this ideal, of living up to this ideal, but at least I'm trying. But I don't want to get too deep in this topic in this video. As I said, another time. I am also someone who values beauty and aesthetics very much. I find the aesthetics of the modern world terrible, gruesome, loveless, depressing. They depress me very, very deeply. And I so much more prefer the aesthetics of past times, especially those of the 19th century and the Romantic period. Not exclusively, but this is my favorite. And when I say the aesthetics, I mean all areas of life. I mean fashion, I mean architecture, I mean furniture, everything. I love the art and the literature of past centuries, and I enjoy escaping into these little historic dream worlds of mine. Because most of the time I find my reality just too unbearable. I deeply love historical buildings and their meditative and transcendent atmosphere. They truly are my refuge. I could spend an eternity in these places, losing myself in their magic aura, listening to the echoes of past times, pondering the transient nature of things, and indulging in premonitions of infinity. I am also deeply fascinated by time and history. I perceive history as a great flow of time in which my spirit likes to bathe and lose itself. It really is the most wonderful and the most exquisite feeling. I like to let myself be carried away by the waves of time. And I also long for soulmates, for kindred spirits who understand my grief and my fragility, who share my passion and my longing, who are there when life gets too heavy and despair threatens to engulf me. I greatly appreciate sensitivity, subtlety, delicacy. And I cannot bear that for the most part the world, be it nature or human beings, is so very coarse and insensitive. My sensitivity is both a strength and a burden, a blessing and a curse. It allows me to perceive the world in a profound way that is utterly moving sometimes. But it also makes me very vulnerable. I despair of reality and my powerlessness and my inability. I feel paralyzed, listless, destroyed, defeated, depressed most of the time. I don't want to become numb, and I fear becoming frozen in resignation. That's why I write, nonetheless, despite everything. I write, I read, I dream. I try to breathe color into the world, at least just a little bit, to entwine the thorns of existence with rose vines. I try to sing my little tune, but feel constantly drowned in the sound and fury of the world. My heart is bleeding. I carry a heavy wound within my heart. Emotional injuries that refuse to heal. I long endlessly for love, for soulmates, for togetherness, for understanding, acceptance, refuge, tenderness. I am searching for my soulmate or mates, for a living being, a creature who can be my harbor and my anchor, in whose loving embrace I can think and find peace. I long for a community of like-minded people who understand and share this attitude towards life. I want to share my romantic fantasies with others. If anybody out there resonates with what I am saying, then please get into contact. Leave me a comment. Thank you. Thank you for listening. That's it for this video. In future videos, I want to further elaborate on my romantic feeling, what that entails, what that means, and I want to give examples because, of course, illustrations and pictures can often say more than 1,000 words. But for now, I say good night out there, whoever, whatever, and wherever you may be.